Hey guys, welcome to day 5 of our Pentecost prayer journey. If you're joining us for the first time, as a church, North Hills Church, we're going through this Draw the Circle prayer journey together, and every day we come out with a new video of kind of our spin, our little prompting to prayer, and we post that both on YouTube and our website. And so follow along with us there. If you're on YouTube with us, you can choose to subscribe, and you can even toggle the notifications on to get a notification about what we're doing for the day. And so I'm just so excited to bring you guys another little moment that you can have with God. Today, we're looking at a little short passage of scripture from the book of Habakkuk. Habakkuk was this prophet from the Old Testament, and after things had started kind of falling apart for the Israelite people in the Promised Land, they had turned away from God, they had turned to evil things. Habakkuk cries out to God in prayer. He cries out to God in prayer because he's sick of how things are, because he's mourning and grieving and he's hurting for his nation. And God answers him both in that moment and answers him for the future to this prayer, this crying out of his heart. And God's answer to him was, yes, I will bring judgment upon my people. And so he tells him that he's going to bring the Babylonians in to judge these people. And then Habakkuk goes, wait, no, they're even more evil than we are. Like, how is that a good idea? And God says that's only part of the plan. Because the other thing that Habakkuk was praying for and dreaming about is the day when God's people would turn back to a relationship with their loving God. But that was going to take time. It was going to take time for that whole journey to progress. And so he tells Habakkuk the prophet in chapter 2, verse 2, these simple words. He says, write down the revelation. In fact, he asks him to write it down on tablets of stone so that it'll last for generations. Because he wanted Habakkuk and the following generations to know that God had spoken, God is at work, and to be able to look back and worship God for what God has done, to worship him for the answers to prayer. And so our challenge today, as we grow in this prayer journey, is for you to get a prayer journal. Whether that is just a notebook that you use, maybe it's on your phone or somewhere where you can take notes that you can hold on to for a long time. Because I want you guys to share your heart with God today. I want you to look at him and say, this is the deep desire that you have given me, the deep desire within my heart, God. I want you to maybe pour out a fear or a challenge in your life that you need to see him show up in, and you want him to see you through, like we were talking about previously. Or maybe it's a dream for something beautiful and good in the future, like God's people being, connected back to him in Habakkuk's prayer. Write that down. Pray that, and then write it down. Date it. Come back to it and pray over it again in the future. And then someday you'll be reading through this journal. If you write this down, if you go with this, someday you'll be reading through this journal, and I trust that God will have answered your prayers. He doesn't always answer them the way we expect, but he answers them in the way that's good for us. And I have many, many of these stories written down over time where God answered my prayers, my deep desires, and also my challenges, where he answered those prayers, and I would have never been able to worship him and glorify him if I had not written them down. So my challenge is write them down. My challenge is share your heart with God today. Thank you guys. This is day 5.